Good morning, Chicago. Day 3 of camp is here. Chicago Bears practice day 3 yesterday was a small step in the right direction as I've depicted it. Listen, there were, and it's very much what Ben Johnson has talked about. It's going to be a very much not linear situation. There's going to be these waves, you know what I mean? And you try to make the dips a little bit smaller if you can. That's really the goal at the end of the day. Right now, it seems like the dips were smaller yesterday, even in a small way. And the big thing right now is just continuing to grow and continuing to build. It's day 3 of camp. Now's kind of the day where I want to see, okay, we're still going through the install process, but are you understanding and are you getting guys in and out of the huddle much smoother than what we've seen in day 1 and day 2? The one thing that they did in OTAs, in minicamp, yeah, the days were a little bit more spread out. We weren't allowed to be there for all the days, so I don't know, how long it took them to get to each spot there. But when you talk about going out there and learning from the mistakes and building on them, right? You went from 6 procedural errors to 4 yesterday. Let's get that down to 2 procedural errors today and pre-snap issues. Let's get I thought the timing of Caleb Williams was better yesterday, and he was hitting DJ Moore on time a couple of times. Let's do that more. Let's get to those plays quicker. Let's get to that read quicker, right? Like, this is all a part of the building. And new offense or not, right, Ben Johnson has kind of set the tone that this is a race that you got to get out, and your goal is to get as much accomplished here in these next 6 weeks as you can so that you're ready to go by the time Monday Night Football hits versus Minnesota. You got a lot to take in. You've got a lot of information that you got to process, and Caleb Williams has to pick that up. Again, I love how Ben Johnson has gone about coaching these first 2 days. I think the fact that, and what I love about it is it's not just, I know people are focusing in on Caleb Williams. Yesterday, the offensive stoppages weren't even Caleb Williams' issues, right? It was the offensive line. Dan Richard was the one getting into him. Now, there were a couple during the 11-on-11 drills where the offense as a whole came out and they called the offense back in. But the one where you saw, like, a coach losing his mind was Dan Richard yesterday, just going at the offensive line, telling them, hey, like, you got to get out of there quicker. Let's go. I was like, whoa, wait, Dan, hold on, dog. I haven't heard Dan speak. Like, y'all got to understand, that's the first time I heard Dan speak since we've been here. So how Ben Johnson is coaching is not just a Ben Johnson thing. It does go down to the coaching staff. Even, I saw Dennis Allen and Al Harris having a spirited conversation, shall we say, and I don't even think they were arguing at each other. I think that they were probably making the same point because it ended in an understanding. But it was just, there's an energy that, or as Kevin Byard said yesterday, there's an aura that Ben Johnson is giving off that you can tell is getting to the rest of the team, and I love that. Right now, day 3 of this thing, got J-Mac up there. We're going to be doing the Chicago Bears podcast together. The goal to me today is to just see how they built on the things that they've already installed and how comfortable Caleb Williams is with that. We are seeing Caleb Williams be more under center to this point, and so there's also that transition, the left foot forward thing, that's that transition, and it's we're seeing a lot more 11-on-11, and I love how, the one thing that I can say, I love how Ben Johnson is utilizing the time that this team has on the field. This is not last year with Flus, Bears fans. This is not last year where you saw Matt Eberflus. I mean, basically you saw Matt Eberflus like not taking days off, but there were days that were definitely lighter. There were days that were definitely, you left that day feeling like we didn't get anything accomplished. Even in the small things that we are seeing this Bears team do from day 1 to day 2, you're seeing them take the information and accomplish small things to continue to build on, what they're trying to get done by the end of the day. I think that's the biggest thing. The expectation can't be have everything perfect day 1. You know when I'll have that expectation? When we're 5 years into this thing. When we are, when we got a Jamar Chase situation with Joe Burrow, or we got a Josh Allen situation with the same OC, right? Or we got, there's all these situations around the NFL where or Jalen Hurts situation with A.J. Brown, where you've got the best of the best that are doing it at a high level, but they've been with their team, they've been with their coordinator for years to come. Right now, my expectation isn't that. Doesn't mean I don't expect you to come out a little bit hot and come out, with some excitement and some fire and some explosiveness. But the big thing for this team is that you're continuing to grow every single day in what Ben Johnson calls the details. That's the most important part right now. And I love how Cole Kmet said it a couple of days ago. I thought that was very big for, a great way to look at it. And it's how I normally look at camp. If we get to week 2, week 3, and we're still having these issues, I'll be raging right with all the Bears fans who are raging right now. But day 3 of this thing, I love how he said it's not about the results. It's about getting the details right. Because once you get the details right, you get the results you want. That's so true. Once you get those details down to the minutia of this is what I do, this is how I do it, and it becomes second nature to you, you can't help but get the results that you want. It's the same conversation. I talked about this yesterday on the podcast. Tap in with yesterday's episode of the Windy City Breeze. We were talking about, we had the full squad in the building, and we were talking about, the day 2 of camp and talking about the details and stuff like that. Like the 70% that Ben Johnson is hoping Caleb Williams is able to accomplish, if he is able to get anywhere close to that 70%, 67%, 68%, whatever it is, everything else falls into place. Everything, you're talking about the 4,000 yards falling into place. You're talking about the 30-plus touchdowns falling into place. You're talking about the playoff victories falling into place. Think about it. Like, we talked about Seattle last year, right? Like, Seattle wasn't this great team, but they still found themselves maybe 1 win short of the playoffs because Geno Smith was able to complete 70% of his passes. Like, there are certain metrics, certain things that if you do it down to the minutia, that there is a baseline that you get to. And I think that baseline, like I said, for this season, for me right now, is 9-8, right? That's the minimum. I saw Joe Burrow do that just by being efficient, just by being on time, just by making the right throw. That's why getting the details down now is so important. Going through the growing pains now is so important. And it's why I'm not panicking at every single second of football that the Chicago Bears may be in right now, this early in camp. But, hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Heading up here to camp, Driving Chronicles, Designer Driving Chronicles, day 3. I think I've done this 3 days in a row. Done this every day of going up to camp, I should say. So, appreciate y'all for tapping in with us as always, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, like I said. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. I'll keep you updated. If you have not done so, join the Discord. The link is up in the community tab. If you have not done so, join the Discord. There's a bunch of videos that I take that I don't end up putting onto social media and stuff like that because it's a hassle when the Bears come back and they're like, take this part down. That if you want to get all of the video, if you want to see everything that I'm seeing and that I'm able to record, we only get like 15 minutes. Join the Discord. I drop everything in there. We're talking ball in there all the time. It's a great time. Stay tapped in with us over there as well, man. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love.